What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today it's round 2 for Mondo's Real Ghostbusters. Today Egon and the Boogieman are in the building. Now this contains what is going to be my most anticipated figure out of all of these Mondo Ghostbusters figures, the Boogieman. When I think back to that main episode, his episode from when I was a kid, that left such a lasting impression. Super freaky, just had this look about him, but it stuck with me, and I am so excited to now get that in action figure form. So let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out. As promised, today we'll be taking a look at the Real Ghostbusters Egon and Boogieman set from Mondo Toys. So we are in the packaging, same as the Venkman and Sam Hain, which frankly gives me a little bit of relief. I was concerned that maybe there was this idea we might be building out some sort of firehouse from these cardboard boxes, and full disclosure, I only went on the timed editions for Venkman and Egon, and I went regular for Winston and Ray. So now that I know that these are the same boxes, I feel a little bit better. Let's take a closer look. So you do get the doors that will flap open. You can see there, that lets you see inside. You got Egon in there. You can kind of see Boogieman. Lots of plastic, really big bubble here. Feel like maybe we could have saved a few dollars on shipping and cost here, but whatever. There's a lot packed in here, and I'm certainly excited to open all this up. Flip it to the side, we can see what we have here. So you get the brick layout, gives you that firehouse aesthetic, Real Ghostbusters logo at the top, a little bit of the Mondo information down at the bottom. Pretty simple design, but looks good. Flip it to the back, we get the graffiti from Slimer. You've got the trash can there, back door, skull, Real Ghostbusters logo, a little bit more artist information, really keeping with the aesthetic. So I do appreciate the overall package design here. Flip it to this side and we get repeated information. So Real Ghostbusters logo, a little bit more brick layout, and some of the Mondo information, as well as your package contents. Flip it to the top and you get a basic roof layout, right? You've got your HVAC up there, asphalt on top, and on the bottom you have some important information. You do get these cardboard cutout ghosts as a pack-in. On the inside of the box you do have an insert which just kind of lays out the firehouse, so if you're into building out your displays with these package contents, I think this is something that you could get a lot of use out of. Now we can take a look at those package contents and see part of the tray here. So there are multiple trays with all of the different things that do come in the box here. And there you go, a face only a mother could love. Fresh out of the box, we'll take a look at Egon first, and then we'll get to the Boogieman. Look, there's a lot in there to fit on this little turntable here, and you know, I want to take a look at them individually anyways. So you do see here, you get all of this stuff packed in here accessory wise, right? The only thing missing would be Boogieman's extra head and hands, but that'll come with Boogieman. So you got the proton pack, you've got the extra hands, the cuffs to flip over there, PKE meter, extra head. You've got the trap with the swappable options, so trap closed or ghost going in, which to the credit of Mondo, I am totally in love with the fact that they are doing these little ghosts with each set. And then of course you get your blast effect there. It does come packed with an extra little ghost. I appreciate that. That gives me a little extra something on the display. Much better than these cardboard pack-ins, which I think are a cheap cop-out for the price you're paying. It's $200 for this set. There's no excuse for cardboard little cutouts. You can give me a cheaper plastic ghost. That would be fine, but I am not a fan of this. All right, let's take a closer look. Here's a look at the special trap. Now, if you recall the episode, they had to use these. I do wish they would have packed in more than one, though. I do feel like 2 to 3 would have made a lot more sense, but still a nice callback to have this included. You also get your PKE meter. Now, when you look at it, you're going to ask, where are the antennas? Don't worry, they are in here. You're just going to pull that up at the top there. That'll expose the antennas there. And then you can carefully work those out So they'll just sort of pop out from each side there, and voila. Your antennas are up. You can pop that back down, and you are good to go. Here is a closer look at your trap. So same with the Venkman, you do have the wire here, which gives you a little bit more stability, but also a good amount of flexibility. So you can kind of push this out as far as you want to go, but you do get that tautness from the wire. Pedal there, open area of the trap, which allows you to slide in your options. So you do have the closed option, which is a good piece to have. And then what I really love about these, you get the ghost in the trap. Now, come on, that's just cool stuff, right? Like, and each of them come with this. For all the complaints you can have about this, this is such a cool thing to throw in. Here is a look at your proton pack. So you can see there, your Neutrino wand, everything looking good, like it's from the animated series, fresh off the screen. So the details there, I will give you that. And to use the effect here, that just ports right on the end, and you can use it or not. It's up to you. Taking a closer look at Egon here, they nailed it, right? The aesthetic is there. This absolutely looks like the Egon from the cartoon, my youth. It's all here. The color is great. This has this really nice teal to it. You've got the pink collar. That all looks great, right? I'm absolutely credit where credit is due. These figures, they turn out looking the part. The first head sculpt gives you your neutral look, which I think that's a good studious sort of Egon, right? Is very much in thought, so I like that. Composure doesn't last, and for your alternate head, you do get this scared look. Another fantastic look for Egon. He's got very worried eyebrows, sort of scared, shocked look. So the options are good. I like that. Gives you two very viable, displayable options for Egon. For the proton pack, pretty easy to mount on. You'll see the straps clip into the back there. You'll just want to seat it on Egon first, and then move your belt around to the back, and then you'll be able to clip it in right back there. For your hands, you do get an open set of ungloved hands. As I stated, you do get the cuffs, so when you go to put the gloves on, you'll just want to slide the cuff piece over there, and you get your set of open gloved hands. For your articulation, the head's not going to look down very far, if at all. Same going backwards. You're not getting any forward or backward movement there. You do get plenty of movement side to side, all the way around. Not any rock in there. And again, you're not going to get any angles out of that. Arms do work all the way around. They will go up to about there. You do have that shoulder in there, sort of a butterfly, right, but very minimal. You're getting a little bit of back and forth there. Nothing at the upper bicep. You do get some rotation at the elbow and then a single joint there. And then at the wrist, because you are on these little balls, you do have that rotation and movement both side to side and around. So that does give you pretty good movement there. For the torso, all you have is that hip swivel. So nothing in the ab crunch area. Hip swivel gives you that rotation. Your legs will kick up only to about there. You're not getting a lot of kick forward and just as much backwards, right? You're not going very far. Out to there, nothing at the upper thigh, and then single joint at the knee. You do have a swivel at your boot though, so that'll give you some rotation around. And then you do have that hinge at the ankle. For a side-by-side, here he is with Venkman. You can see Egon comes out a little bit taller. We're halfway there, 2 more Ghostbusters to go. And I'm definitely looking forward to how this display looks at the end of it all. Moving over to Boogeyman. Now, this dude is extremely top heavy. He does come with a stand, so I will move over to that. I just wanted to put him up here. He's barely going to stand on his own. He has pretty weak ankles, and as I said, he's very top heavy, so it doesn't give you a lot of center of gravity to work with. That a little bit of a concern, but thankfully they do give you a pretty large stand to manage Boogeyman with. So you can see that here. It does come in two pieces, so you get the arm and the base. And yeah, I mean, it's going to help, sure, but I don't necessarily want to have to rely on this, but I'm absolutely going to because, again, that Boogeyman, he's big, he's cool, he looks great. I don't want anything to happen to him, so stand it is. As you can see, I mean, he takes up a lot of space. Really great amount of detail in there. Just looking perfect. Okay, if he had better, stronger legs, I would have no issues with this Boogeyman, but alas, he has the weak legs. But everything looks fantastic. Great detail in here, some shading in the tongue, really pop with the colors. You can see that blue in there. I mean, yeah, exactly how I remember it, and so it's gonna look so good on a shelf, right? And if that wasn't enough, you get this alternate head, which just adds some additional details in there. Another really great option, just looking the part. Purely fantastic, okay? That's what this is. This is everything I hoped it would be, and that is very rewarding, very exciting to have that in hand. The problem is, which head do I display, right? Like, these are both great options. I'm going to have to rotate, I suppose. This is a good problem to have. It's just, what choice do I make here? For the articulation, you get a little bit of movement in the neck. There is a ball joint in there, which does give you a little bit of back and forth. Of course, you get some side to side. Certainly able to give you a little bit more to work with angle-wise, so I appreciate that. It's a big head. You're not going to get a whole lot out of it, but you get what you need. You do have a hinge at the jaw, so absolutely adding another little aspect to your display there. So I like that. The arms will move all the way around. Going backwards, you get caught a little bit on the shoulder there, but if you need to move it around, you can. It will go up only to about there, though, so you're not even really getting a lot of upward movement. You do get that single joint at your elbow, and you do have a hinge at the wrist. He does have what feels like a ball joint at the upper torso, lower chest area. It at least gives you a little bit of rotation so you can sort of play around with your display there. The legs will only kick up to about there, so same as Egon, you're not getting much forward. I assume as much backward, and that's correct. You get a little bit backward. You do get some going out to the side. Nothing at the upper thigh there. You do have a single joint at the knee. You also have a joint at the calf. And then you do have your hinge at the hoof. For your hands, you do get this open set of hands. And you get what I assume are your devil horn hands. Rock on, man. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. There is your Mondo Real Ghostbusters Egon and Boogieman. I will say this, right? I am no fan of the price point of these figures. I don't see the value there in that price point. I see the value in having these figures, right? They are something I'm super fond and nostalgic for. They need the representation on the shelf. And if you disagree or have a counterpoint to this, I really would love to hear it, because I really just don't see these as being that much better than a NECA quality figure, right? And I pay $35 to $39 for a NECA figure. I'm okay with that based on what you get with it. These, you're more than doubling that, right? You're telling me this is $105, that's $105, and we come together at $210 for a set. Nostalgia is a son of a bitch, and that's the price you pay, right? They know that people are going to do it. I am one of them, and no hiding that. But it is just something that irks me a little bit about these real Ghostbusters sets. That aside, they are beautiful. They look great. They will display very well. I'm most certainly looking forward to getting them on the shelf. It's just a hard pill to swallow to get there, right? You can only complain so much when you end up paying for these, right? So this is not a good example of dollar to detail, right? The detail is there, the dollars don't match it. I've already given my NECA opinion on this. So that's the 2 cents, folks. Do what you want with that information. I appreciate you checking out the video. Despite the last minute or so, I do like these figures. So thanks for checking it out. Of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.